All right, here we go. If you've never heard of the quadratic formula, that's what we're covering today. So, if you have, how many know the quadratic formula? Kind of, sort of. Okay, quadratic formula is our goal today. Quadratic formula is to help us to solve those problems that were kind of like this one. So let's say we have y equals x squared plus 7x plus 12, or no, let's go with 15. Okay? Can we factor that? Two things that multiply to make what? 15 and add to 7. So can we multiply to make 15 and add to 7 is the question. How about 1 and 15? Does that work? No. 2 doesn't go. 3 and 5? That's close. Does it work? 4, 5 and 3. Okay. So it looks like no. So on your test, what did we call that? We called that a prime, right? We called that a prime. In this case, if we can't solve by factoring, what we could use is the quadratic formula. And quadratic formula actually works for anything, even if it can be factored. So if you like the quadratic formula, you could use it for any of them. However, there will be times when you'll have to eventually in advanced algebra start dealing with rational functions and reducing. But for now, we could use the quadratic formula for anything here. Okay, so on this, if we say y equals x squared plus 7x plus 15, and we know that we're trying to find our x-intercepts. Okay, we're trying to find those places where our graph crosses the x-axis. So if we're taking a look at this, the goal is to figure out this point and this point, or this point, or, well, notice there's no x-intercept here. If there's no x-intercept, what do we call that? Someone said it. Who said that? Yeah, Cole. No solution. Okay? This is a good thing to put into your notes here. If you have no x-intercepts, we call it a no solution. If we have one x-intercept, we have only one solution. And then if there are two x-intercepts, we have two solutions. Kind of like yesterday when we had all those plus minuses. We had plus minus 2 or plus minus 7 or whatever. That means it crosses at, in this case, positive and negative 2. Here, this one crosses at 0. It comes down, it hits the x-axis, and jumps back up. Versus here, you have no x-intercepts. It never crosses. Okay. So when we come into class tomorrow, I'm going to quiz you on this and see if we can remember exactly what the pictures reference. Okay, you want to be able to relate your solutions to your pictures. So 2 intercepts, 1 intercept, and no intercepts. Well done. A bunch of you copying it down. Some of you are just like taking it in and trying to remember it on your own. Those will be the ones I call on tomorrow. I'm going to make a list of the kids right now. You don't have a copy. You don't have a picture. Come on, man. You can't draw that picture?
Okay, I'll draw it.
Just draw a stick graph then.
Okay.
You know? Like if you can't draw a dog, you draw a stick dog.
Never heard of stick.
There we go, man. Good. Look at that. Oh, almost looks like a stick reindeer, but that's okay. Stick planes. Check it out. Big dog compared to a plane. Just saying. All right. All right. Now that brings us back to here. What is the quadratic formula? Quadratic formula is, well, we're trying to find when y cross or x crosses the, or when the graph crosses the x-axis. So we're going to say y is 0. Okay. Notice here the y x-intercepts is when y equals 0. So we're going to say y equals 0, and we have x squared plus 7x plus 15. Quadratic formula, there's a cool jingle goes with it. X equals, that's what we're trying to find, the opposite of b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Come on, man. Pop goes to The opposite of b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
That's
It's Pop Goes the Weasel.
oh.
Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. The opposite of b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Anytime I sing that now, though, I think of Elf when he's like doing the little, and the thing jumps out and scares him. I get kind of freaky at the end. Okay, scary. You got it, Bobby? Do you want me to hold on to that?
No.
Oh, sorry. Bobby was trying to read. I don't want to interrupt his reading in math. All right. Okay, what do A, B, and C mean? Caden? They are numbers. They represent the, I am assuming he meant the A, B, and C right here. Okay, those numbers, right? That's our A, B, and C. So it's always good to still list our A, B's, and C's, right? A is 1, B is 7, and C is 15. Then we just plug those pieces in. All right, so if I'm trying to figure this out, the opposite of B, well, what's the opposite of B, or negative B? Negative 7. Come on, man. All right, negative 7. So we have opposite of B. I don't know what I'm doing with that. Okay, negative 7 plus or minus the square root of B squared. What's B squared? 7 squared, which is? 49. Okay. Could we ever get a negative number right here when we square it? No, you never could, right? Because negative squared is positive. Okay, minus 4 times A. What's A?
1.
And what's C? 15. All over 2. A. All right. Now, the place where a lot of students make mistakes are is right here. I'm going to circle this, and I usually always circle this and just off to the side put what its value is. Notice I circled the negative. Okay, this is a negative times a positive times a negative. This is a negative value, right? Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 times 15 is negative 60. Okay, so I now have negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 49 minus 60 all over 2. Can anyone tell me why this problem is going to give us problems? Cool. Can't square. I don't have a negative in here, do I? Yeah, 49 minus 60 is a negative. Cole didn't even back down, dude. I didn't even phase him. Okay, 49 minus 60 is a negative. That's negative 11. So once you get here and you're like, hey, I can't take the root of a negative. What do we call that? That's a no solution. We just stop. We can't do anything. All right, let's see if you guys remember. What's the picture look like? Quick picture. I don't need exact points, just quick picture. You don't have to do it here. You like drawing in air and stuff? Looks like you're composing. Okay, just go ahead and do a quick sketch on your paper there. Some of you are pretty good composers, though. I think. Let's start singing. Okay, let's see. Graph would open up because A is positive. It would be something maybe like that. Now, I have no idea where the vertex is. I just know that it does not cross the x-axis. How many were correct? Has 0 solutions. No real solutions, does not cross x. Okay. Questions? All right, we're going to pause right there for a minute. Okay, for those of you who haven't noticed, the sheet that you picked up on the chair, it has the good example up above as well. It has quadratic formula. Always write that at the top. Okay, right now you're doing 1 and 4. Plug in everything in, then try to simplify. Let's figure out where we're going to make any mistakes. Notice there are steps up here. Identify A, B, C. So that's the first step. In this one, A is what? 1. B is? 2. And C? Well done. Okay, substitute them into the quadratic formula. Okay, what goes right here? 2. Yeah. 2, right? Opposite of b, I'm going to rewrite it down here so we can see it. Opposite of b plus or minus square root of b squared. All right, there we got it. Here? 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 Negative 35. Jake's got it down. What's this one? 1. Good. Good. We simplify. We end up with negative 2 plus minus square root of, what goes here? 4. This part right here, when we multiply it, are we going to get a positive or negative amount? Positive. You get negative times negative, which gives us a positive. 4 times 35 is? Good, 140. That means this is plus since it's a positive amount. All over 2. Okay, keep simplifying it. That's negative 2 plus minus root 144 over 2. What do we know about 144? What's so special about the number 144? Brennan? Yeah, the square root of it's 12. It's a perfect square. So we actually have negative 2 plus 12 over 2. What's negative 2 plus 12? Oh, it's negative 2 plus minus 12. Oops, be careful there. All right, so we have negative 2 plus 12, and we have negative 2 minus 12. All right, so as you guys grab a piece of paper here. As you guys are working through this, once you get to this piece right here, you've got to break it into 2 different parts. You're going to have negative 2 plus 12 over 2, and you also have negative 2 minus 12 over 2. Minus 12. Okay, so there's 2 pieces right here. All right? So just like yesterday where we had 2 answers, we had the plus minus piece, that's that plus minus piece. Okay? So negative 2 plus 12 is 10 over 2, which is 5. So there's one answer. And negative 2 minus 12 is negative 14 over 2, which is negative 7. So our solutions, x equals negative 5, or negative 7 and positive 5. Those are our 2 answers. Any questions there? They'll give you a lot of room to work on this page. It's more so that you guys can plug the pieces in. So it's good to have a separate sheet of paper handy. On today's worksheet, on today's assignment, I'll give you plenty of room. Okay? So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to fill it in right here, and then show the rest of the work on this paper. So A is 2. B and C. Okay. So the opposite of B, what goes here? We're just putting B in, right? So we have negative 9. Okay, what's the opposite of negative 9? It's going to end up being positive 9 here in a minute. Those 2 negatives make a positive. Plus, what's B? Negative 9. What goes here? 4 times 2, which is our A, times C, all over 2 times 2, or 2A. Okay, so this part right here we said is going to become positive, so we get 9, plus minus, the square root of, this is? Everyone agree? 81? Minus 4 times A times C, is this going to be a positive or negative amount right there? Positive. What do we get? Yeah, this is 40. Okay? So it's a positive 40, so we have plus 40 all over 4. Okay, simplifying inside the radical, we get 9 plus minus square root of. Yeah? 121? All over? 4? All right. And finishing it up, we end up with, what's this piece? It's root of 121, yeah, 11. Okay, this part becomes 11. So we get 9 plus 11 over 4, and 9 minus 11 over 4. Right? That plus minus breaks it into two different problems. We get plus and then minus it. Okay, one answer is, yeah. Go for it. 5? 9 plus 11, that gives us 20 over 4, or 5. And this one is? TT? Negative 1/2. Yeah. All right. There's our solutions. Put them in set notation, and we got it. Any questions? Quadratic formula works for any of them. Any quadratic you want to solve for. Okay, so if you ever forget, that's what you could use. Okay, so note your steps up here. Step 1, 2, oops, zoom out real quick. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. Identify ABC. Step 1, substitute. Step 2, simplify, and then write your two equations and solve. Okay, notice when they write the two equations, that's where they break up that plus minus. Okay, so it's a nice little note page here. All right, any questions before we go on? Okay.